Okay, what we have here is the kitchen. The kitchens are laid out a little bit different. On all the appliances in the kitchen, you want to run a 12-2 with a 20 amp breaker, and you want to run them individually. Okay, so this is a typical kitchen that we have here. We have a range here, we have a refrigerator, dishwasher, and a garbage disposal. Okay, so the first thing what we're going to do is we're going to put outlets on those appliances. We'll have an outlet here, back of this wall. Okay, garbage disposal, we'll have it down here. Dishwasher down here in the bottom, and the range, it'll be in the back right there. On these, we just typically home run 12-2 with a 20 amp. Okay, same thing with the range. 12-2, 20 amp. Garbage disposal, same thing. 12-2, 20 amp. And we have the dishwasher. 12-2, 20 amp. That takes care of the 4 appliances. Now all we have to do here is put some outlets and the lights. Outlets are the next thing that we do. Okay? Code says that we have to have 2 home runs to a kitchen. Doesn't matter what size it is. A minimum 2 home runs. So how many outlets can we put on each home run? You know, it's up to you and it's up to the appliance, really. So most of the time you don't have that many. So what we're going to do here is we're going to put this section, 1 home run, this section, another home run. So over here, we'll run 3 outlets. And we just run the home run to the first one here. It'll be 12-2 with a 20 amp breaker. Okay, now you go hook up to here, the other 2, and this will be a GFI. First one's always a GFI. And then the next will hook up and it'll actually work as a GFI. So that's one side there. Now on the other side we'll do the same thing. Say we want to put one right here, another one over here, and maybe another one over here on the counter somewhere. Okay, those are my other 3, and now I just have to run to it. Doesn't matter where you go first. Okay, let's say this one will be the home run. 12-2 with a 20 amp, and we hook the other 2, and those are our 2 home runs for our outlets. Now we have plenty of outlets in there. Okay, so the next thing we want to do is the lights. How many lights do we want in here? We can put as many as we want. In this case here, well, let's just put 4 for a kitchen, and to save energy, 1 right over the sink. It'll be in the ceiling, but it'll be right here. Reason for that, if you're washing dishes, you only want to turn on 1 light instead of turning on all 4. In this case here, we have 4, so we're going to divide it in half and half. 1 switch, put the switches right here. Well, actually, we'll put the switches right over here on the wall, and from this switch, we'll control 2 lights, and this switch control the other 2 lights. So we have 2 switches controlling 2 separate lights. From here, we're going to have another switch right over here for this sink, for the light over the sink. How do we get power now to these lights? We'll have a home run coming from this box to the switch. We'll run a 15 amp with a 14-2 wire. You can run a 12 if you want. We're going with a 14-2, and then from here we just run power to the other switch. and that'll control our lights. If we wanted more lights, we can put a lot more in there. But that's a typical layout for electrical on a kitchen. Keep in mind, the appliances are on their own with one breaker, all four of them, and then 2 home runs for the outlets, 12-2, 20 amp. First one's GFI, okay? Never put it in the middle or the last. Always the first one, that way the other 2 will trigger, okay? And then you got the lights. Switch here, switches here, coming in here to the first one, going to the next one. It controls the lights. So there's your kitchen. Okay, what we have here is a typical kitchen, okay? Remember what we said in the kitchen on the layouts? You have to have 2 home runs for the outlets on the kitchen. What they've done here is the home run is coming from here, catching this outlet with a GFI, outlet GFI, and it stops right here, GFI. Okay, that is one. Okay, the second one picks up right here, and it catches the rest of them over here on this side. That's your second one right there. So you got 2 GFIs for your countertop. Okay, after that, it's your appliances. Okay, right here you have your range for your stove, and right here is for your refrigerator. Another home run for your refrigerator, 20 gauge there. Okay, you have your garbage disposal right here. It's going home run. Okay, and you have your lighting right here. Another home run for your lighting. They're using a 15 amp, and your lighting for your cans up here. Okay, so that's a typical layout. This is for your microwave. Okay, home run on its own. Okay, so kitchen is really not confusing. It's just how you run it. You see wires going everywhere, but your layout is going to be the same as what we talked about it in class. And that's pretty much your kitchen.